I just think if I've got the opportunity to push the sport, why wouldn't I take it and try and inspire some young'uns? And eventually, like, there'll be loads of girls ripping this, and hopefully, we've got the world's best together. But hopefully, we'll just see more and more girls, seeing us and being like, "Fuck yeah, I want to do that when I'm older."
Welcome to the first Long Views episode of 2024. This is the audio zine that brings you a unique insight into the world of mountain bike racing. My name is Archie, and this week we take a look back at the awesome event that took place in Medina Bike Park last week, the first ever Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. Red Bull Hardline is now its very own series, and this event was the opening round of 2024. The first Hardline race outside of Wales, and boy, it didn't disappoint. It was a very different track in comparison to its colder and damper Welsh cousin, with loose, dusty corners and ferns lining the sides of the track. Sven Martin, Misspent Summers photographer and part-time interviewer, caught up with a few people throughout the week, including the race winner Rońań Dunne, Rider of the Week Gracey Hemstreet, and Simon French, the event organiser and managing director of Medina Bike Park. Stay tuned for those coming right up. Before we get into it, here are the top 10 riders from Hardline Tasmania: Rońań Dunne, Bernard Kerr, George Brannigan, Matteo Iniguez, Conor Fearon, Laurie Greenland, Sam Gale, Sam Blenkinsop, Theo Ellingson, Gaëtan Viget. Right, let's kick things off with the winner of the inaugural Hardline Tasmania, Rońań Dunne.
Rońań, 2 days ago, you didn't even know if your bike would make it here. You miss a day of practice, now you win the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, pretty buzzing for sure. It's
How do you put in? You had good splits throughout the board, but like I said, you had the least track time. Is it just confidence, or is it just?
I was super loving this track, and having the new rig was pretty insane. And
don't drown, dude. Waterboarding on the interview.
Fuck. Oh my god. The track was super sick. Really had a great time on it. Didn't have the best of qualities, to be honest. Actually, well, felt like I had a good quality run, but I was a good bit back, so I was like, right, I really need to open up the game. But the run felt quick, but also felt like a World Cup run, to be honest.
But now, you said you enjoyed the bike, but you actually also haven't spent time on that bike because you've been on the new bike.
Yeah, so that bike is the old Mondraker, and the squad just didn't want me to race the new prototype yet.
It's more free ride, yeah?
Yeah, it's a bit more stiffer and it's better for the jumps, but the new bike would have been actually faster by a lot. So
watch out next year, boys.
Yeah, so looking forward to getting back on my proto, because that thing's sick, but it's no comparison to the new rig. And yeah, it was just an insane week the whole week, and had a good practice this morning. So
good way to start off the year for you and for the new team.
Yeah, for sure. Like, in my eyes, this race is nearly better than a World Cup. I think it's one of the best races of the year, and to win it, oh my god, I'm buzzing. And we still have another one as well this season, so can't wait for that.
Wonder if you'll be in a Red Bull helmet by the end of the year.
I don't know. I still have to keep drinking a few more of those cans. I think.
Drink? Oh yeah. How many did you drink today? Or this week? What do you reckon?
I had one on the hot seat, and then I probably had about 5 before that. So
5 before your race run.
Yeah. Well, just throughout the day, they're everywhere you look. They're just there. So it's rude not to drink them. For sure.
And through the week, what do you reckon? A case at least.
Whoa. I'd say 15, 20, I'd say. Yeah, too many, but it's Red Bull Hardline.
Hey, that's the secret, eh? You got the winner.
Yeah, fucking happy days.
I think I still owe you drinks from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know, so...
The tab is growing. Nice one.
His run looked so smooth, and he didn't even look like he was pushing too hard, but somehow managed to find over 2.5 seconds where no one else could. Scary to think what he might be able to do this coming season. Next up was fairness Gracey Hemstreet, who was voted by her fellow riders as Rider of the Week. She also became the first ever woman to complete a top-to-bottom run of a Red Bull Hardline track. It was so sick to see.
So Gracey, comparable to anything else you've done in your World Cup career, how does Hardline compare? You've first lady to top to bottom.
I've never hit anything like this track before in my life, but yeah,
you've grown up in Canada with some pretty big famous hits. You would have done some of the bigger stuff in BC.
True. Yeah. Like, I don't know though. Those big drops, I've never hit drops like that before. But
what's
big
more
jump lines like coastal cruise?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
There's some shark fins on there, and I don't know, crabapple. You gotta go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
What do you reckon's harder, big short drops or long big jumps?
I find the technical drops way harder than the big lofty jumps for sure.
Just the speed and then having to pick up or push through.
Yeah, I don't know. Popping off like a downhill ramp, it kind of scares me, but
yeah, with a big jump, if it's built right, you can just send it. Right?
Yeah, totally.
When you did track walk, were you thinking then and there that you you knew you'd jump all of this or hit all of this, or what were you? Yeah, what was going through your mind when you showed up and did the track walk?
At first I was like, oh, I don't know, but then, yeah, we showed up a bit early and then we walked it like 4 days early, and then, I don't know, by the time the event came around or practice, I was like, okay, I think I could do it all.
Cool.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked. That was definitely my goal.
And then obviously the win today hadn't make stuff easy for you. Did you just? I mean, it was pretty breezy at the bottom, and you just still sent them all.
I didn't really mind the wind. I didn't feel it at all, really.
You're not a free rider, that's why.
Yeah, I guess so.
Any breeze and there's a course hold if it's a free ride event.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is a downhill race, so I think you're inspiring a lot of people out there, not just the women, and breaking new ground.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. It's cool.
And a lot of you are doing it. Awesome.
I know, yeah, it's awesome.
All right.
It was an incredible week for women's mountain biking, with all the women at Hardline absolutely sending it, which was truly inspiring stuff. Louise Ferguson was the only other woman able to take part in the final race, as she had managed to complete a whole track top to bottom during practice. Despite 2 big crashes in a race run which would have put most people out, she got up from both, dusted herself off and soldiered on. Absolute legend. Here is Sven talking with Louise.
Last year to the Mondraker factory racing
Lou,
team.
a full pull for you. A tough week, but you guys soldiered on.
Yeah, there's some highs and some lows, but overall really happy. Like it was, we came in with low expectations, and then all the girls just sent it.
So when you did track walk, did you think for sure we've got this, or do you think I don't know if I can do a full run?
I was thinking each feature we looked at in track walk out, I could see how it could be done, but I wasn't sure about putting a full run together. Gracey really pushed the expectations with that, which was cool to see. And yeah, it's sick. I think it's full on. It's Hardline's hard because the features are scary, but putting the run together and trying to race it, that's the hard bit.
And you put all the features together, but when it came to do a race run,
I just didn't quite make it happen. But I done a full run, but I crashed in the easy bits, and that's trying to find the balance for me, putting in a good run and also hitting the features. I love the scary stuff, the cliff drop and stuff was really exciting to hit, and the last jump, but yeah, putting that all together in one run is just escaped me today. So
I'm not going to say it, but I'm not going to say next year will be easy, but it'll be nice to start the week knowing that you got this.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's going to be so much easier, even just the unknown coming here and we're not sure what we've signed up for. Yeah, how to prepare. Whereas coming in next year, it's going to be a lot easier to get to grips with even the dirt, the weather, understanding how the wind works for the jumps. That was a massive struggle for us this week. So. And
I'm sure there'll be some surprises next year with some more features.
Yeah, they're going to make it spicy. Even Wales, this chat of it being pretty different. So yeah, that's why it keeps it interesting.
But glad you're happy and healthy and ready for the Crankworks and World Cups.
Yeah, I think my team's really happy about this as well.
Awesome. Good job.
Just unbelievable stuff from Louise. Can't wait to see how she gets on this coming season. Early on in the week, Sven caught up with Laurie Greenland about his fast-looking custom Fox kit. Over to Sven with Laurie.
So you boys get some custom kits every now and then. What's the story on yours, Loza?
Fox. I left Fox to this one. They came up with it. I think it's meant to be island vibes for Island Tasmania. But it's
going
cool.
for some tie-dye surf stuff next week.
I don't know.
Some waves, bro.
Oh no, I wish. We're going to Japan. Yeah.
You were surfing the white powder.
Yeah, surfing the
only
white
place
powder.
in the world that still gets unbelievable powder.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped about it, actually. We should get one day on the snow, which would be cool. Full Syndicate riders and most of the mechanics and stuff day on the snow. It'd be good fun.
Who do you reckon will be the shittest in the snow, and who will be the best?
Everyone's pretty good because the mechanics all live in Morzine. Jackson grew up in Sram, and I've done a fair bit of snowboarding, so I don't know. I think everyone will be all right.
And Joe Bowman's a bit of an adventure man.
Yeah, we'll see.
But that's Japan, and we're in Tasmania. What do you reckon? You've done on the other hardline. How is it different, and is one more difficult than the other, or just in different ways?
It's kind of hard to say. I think the first hits in Wales are so much harder because you got so much clay and mud and crap on your shoes you can't even click into the pedals, and sometimes your wheels won't even spin in the mud guard because there's so much clay around your wheels in Wales that it makes the process of getting to the point of hitting something for the first time quite hard. Whereas this, you can push up, mess around, stop on the lip, it's pretty chill. So I guess it makes it easier here, but some of the features are pretty big. It's not a chill track. It's kind of weird. Like the middle section was pretty mellow to begin with, and it got so chewed up. It's like if that was a downhill track that we had to race World Cup, that would be out of control. You know, the middle section. So I think all in all, for me, it ticks a lot of boxes that Hardline should have. I'm a big fan of it.
And do you like it that it's so different to the World Cup series, or do you think the World Cup needs to have a bit more of this in their series too? In terms of, I mean, look, we're getting the girls
there's
over all that stuff too. So
some good cliff drops at the top that could easily be in a World Cup. Just a kind of, those first 3 hits on the track, that could all be in a World Cup, no worries, I think. And maybe some of the other drops a little further down. You've got like quite a blind rock drop into a shoot into a left-hander, but that kind of stuff could easily be in a World Cup. I think most people can ride that stuff. I mean, the girls have demonstrated hardlines for the fucking girls, man.
Exactly, just like Katie Simmons said it. Pipeline.
Yeah, exactly.
Hardlines for the fucking girls. Nice one, Laza.
Big up.
Laurie finished in a very respectable 6th place, but he won the photo competition of the week with some incredible fire road roost shots. Also, I'm very jealous of that Japan trip, sounds like a proper laugh. The other half of the Syndicate twins, Jackson Goldstone, also had a very smart new custom kit, inspired by his Porsche he drives around at home in Squamish, BC.
All right, Jackson.
Bonjour.
Custom kit you guys are famous for.
Fox is famous for.
Yeah, Fox and you guys. How does this one come about?
Well, basically this one, I was down in Irvine, California, where the Fox head office was, and we were just chatting on some ideas, just kind of catching up on, what we should do for Hardline here this week in Tasmania. And I thought it was I've got a old beat clapped out Porsche 944 back home, and I was like, colors are pretty sick, and I wonder if we could tie it into some unique parts of the car and everything. So I think they did a sick job. It's got point Porsche font the whole way down. It's got the 944S logo on it. It's got a little Fox Porsche emblem kind of thing, and they just aced it with the design and the colors and stuff.
Is that your only Porsche or your first Porsche, or what is that?
First Porsche, only Porsche so far.
So far.
I'd love. I'll definitely be getting another one in the near future. Hopefully, depends on how many races I win this year, though.
A new custom kit, if that happens.
Yeah.
And the mismatch. Why are your wheels mismatched on the Porsche?
So basically, the wheels on the Porsche, the right side is black, and then the left side is silver.
Intentional?
Not intentional, but basically I was painting them, and then I had to put it into storage over winter, and then just ran out of time and couldn't, paint the other 2 wheels, so just rolled with it, and then I haven't actually got the car back out of the fucking container yet, so still waiting to paint the other 2.
Whose Porsche's cooler, yours or Boris's?
Boris's by 1,000%. Matt Walker's got the same one. He's got a dope one because he's doing a full engine swap and everything.
What's he putting in there? He's not even putting a Porsche engine in there.
Audi turbo 5-cylinder or something. I don't know exactly, but
I think he's getting Boris's old wheels as well.
Oh wow. Yeah, Boris's Porsche shits on all of ours.
Yeah, all media squids.
Yeah, they do well for themselves.
Yes.
Eh? Where's your Porsche?
I got beat up. I've got a lot of Hiluxes and Hi-Aces and fucking Land Cruisers. All my shit's built last century. All right, well, and Hardline, how does this compare to Wales?
Much different, but pretty fun still. It's a lot faster and a lot less, stop and go tech. It's more just flat out tech. So
would we say it's more like a regular race course? Or still?
It's probably still way more, a way higher speed track than any World Cup race tracks, because it's that whole middle section you're not even touching your brakes for a minute. So I'd say it's more, the World Cup tracks are more like Wales, but both really sick.
And I've been from the sideline shooting, and it happens every year at every Hardline. Everyone gets caught out. Nobody fucks up on the features, and everyone gets caught out on the in-between bits, which you kind of don't concentrate as much or practice as much. And it seemed like in training that's happened as well here. Like you said, the natural in-betweeners.
Yeah, I mean, they're hard to ride still. You're going super fast, and most of the hard stuff is super dry, dusty, blown out, loose rocks everywhere. So, it's kind of hard to concentrate on those sections when all you're thinking about is, the big jumps that are coming up next.
Yeah.
But, we've got good practice on the track, so at least we got line styled and know exactly where we're going.
How much will we put in if we can get Teo to backflip the final jump?
Ooh,
should be easy for him.
I'd put in $1,000.
Grand?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Rand, South African rand.
No, real grand.
No ways, dude. If he hears that, he's gonna double flip it.
Yeah. I swear to God, I'll do $1,000. 100%.
Shit. Okay. Well, you heard it there, Teo. Hopefully you hear this before.
Hopefully don't do it, so then I can put more money into my Porsche. Maybe paint the other side of the wheels.
Yeah. If he doesn't do it, he has to pay. No, he wouldn't do it.
No, he would never.
Jackson had a big off during his race run, and it's looking like he may struggle to get back to full health before the first round of the Dunne World Cup at Fort William in May. All the best in the recovery, Jackson, and hopefully we'll see you back on the bike before round 1. Sven now chats with Simon French, or Frenchy as he's known, the managing director of Medina Bike Park. He explains how the idea of a second hardline location came about and how they approached the track build.
Simon, Frenchy, Dirt Art, Medina. Second ever venue for the hardline. Pretty and a massive event to live up to with the Welsh history. How did that all come about? Like, was it you hitting them up, them hitting you up, and it's a pretty big tap on the shoulder to get the call up?
Yeah, look, to be totally honest with you, it was a little bit of none of those things. Basically, it came about in just an organic conversation with Red Bull. We'd been working with them on a few different things, some athlete shoots, some content, and there was a discussion around bringing another big event to Australia. I know Red Bull in Oz needed another big event, and they decided that Hardline would be a good target. So the planets kind of aligned on it, to be honest. We certainly didn't reach out to them. They didn't really reach out to us. It just came about fairly organically.
And from what I can gather, just a couple of months to build the course of the statue.
Yeah, inside 4 months, so really kind of 3.5 months. Yeah, not long, and the whole venue as well. I mean, we've had to build power grids and all the infrastructure around it. Brand new event village, whole new course. Yeah, big job.
How do you go about? Because obviously you've been building trails for years, but you've been building trails kind of for. Even though you've got big jump trails on your public trails, they have been for public, but this is by no means safe or recommended for public.
No, definitely not for the public. It's been a process. I mean, moving a lot of dirt. So we've had basically 6-7 excavators on the trail the whole time, team of about 15 staff, really trying to dial in things over that period of time. So getting things to a point of refinement where the drops are smooth. They're really friendly at a variety of speeds for different rider weights and different abilities. So I think we're pretty dialed in now. But yeah, it's been a long process.
Yeah, like speeds and rider weights is so much more that comes into it than just like lips and landings, right?
Yeah, look, it's really hard to get a massive jump or a massive drop to work for everyone.
Yeah.
And you really have to try and strike a balance where, look, it is possible to overjump some of this stuff a bit. It is possible to underjump it, but trying to minimise the risk of that as much as we possibly can.
And basically the early years of Hardline, early years of Darkfest and all those series is really, we've seen some massive miscalculations by both riders and perhaps builders. And for the first time ever at any of these events, especially a first edition, like not one injury yesterday on opening day, which obviously we saw Dave was one of the testers and got hurt, but pretty big accomplishment to have, like, literally we have a full field of riders still ready on day 2, which is, I don't think that's actually ever happened at a Red Bull Hardline. That's why they invite so many, because they want to still have 10 riders left,
Yeah, totally. And look, for us, I mean, we've got a massive, really well-equipped medical team here if things do come undone. But we have tried our absolute best to minimise the chance of that. And look, yesterday was a great day. I mean, getting everyone down happy and healthy at the end of the day was awesome. I mean, you can't ask for anything more than that. And
then being part of one of these events that's kind of putting women's mountain biking, I don't want to call this free ride, but it's a bit of everything. This is just a massive leap in the evolution for women's sending, let's say.
Yeah, look, honestly, one of the most exciting things is watching the women get stuck into it yesterday, and they just did so well. It was phenomenal. It was so good to see them go off those big features. Amazing.
As we saw in, I don't know, people follow Pipe Masters, the surfing. The women basically have always said just get us out there. We, don't keep us away from the big stuff. And they proved it in the surfing a week ago, and they proved it yesterday again.
Yeah, I think so. And like I say, I mean, we've over the last few weeks in particular, we've really tried to dial things in to a point where things work at different speeds. So obviously we have to be able to do it at full race speed for some of those top guys, but to try and get it to a point where it works for some of the women that haven't hit things that big before. That was great to see that yesterday. Really, really cool.
And then a full week of other activities for the general public, as racing, festival, whip-offs, and of course the spectating.
Yeah, it's been a busy time, and it'll definitely be a busy week. But no, look, we've got big plans for this week. This week-long festival, to build it into something huge over the next few years, and yeah, we're really excited about it.
Sweet. All right.
Already properly frothing for next year's event. From one local to another, Dan Booker is Tasmanian born and bred, and is a rider that you may recognise from the enduro world. He was part of the team that put together this ridiculous track. Here is Sven with Dan.
Booker, local as it gets, trail builder. And are you from Medina originally?
No, from Hobart originally, but worked out here and lived out here for 4 years.
You did real good at the EWS in your hometown, or local town, let's say. How's it being on the big bike here?
Oh, it's awesome. Always love being on a downhill bike and having all these guys over here. It's so cool for the town and for Tassie, so it's awesome.
Is this the first one of these kind of big style events you've done?
Yeah, first time. So yeah, loving it. Keen to do some more.
But you got kind of some free ridey clips floating around the internet?
Yeah, you got to keep it fun. You don't want to be a boring enduro rider, so do as much as you can.
And I guess could have started with this, but you're looking good on a brand new red bike there.
Yeah, fancy new bike today. Stoked to be on a V10. Always, heard great things, so yeah, and it's showing. Did half a lap on it this morning and just felt comfy straight away, so then straight into the hardline stuff.
So that's pretty nuts, brand new bike, half a lap warm up, and then straight into hardline.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous getting out of bed this morning when it wasn't built up, so yeah. As soon as I got halfway through that first half lap, I was like, oh no, it feels good, so straight into it.
Well, you know the suspension and your tyres and maybe your grips, and there we go.
Yeah, old grips on a new bike is the way to go.
There we go. All right, dude, well, fucking do it for Tasmania.
Yeah, we'll do.
Dan had been killing it all week long, but unfortunately a big slam on the slippery top section of the track in his race run meant he had to retire from the race. Wishing Dan a speedy recovery and looking forward to seeing him at more events like this in the future. Now talking to Sven is Tahnée Seagrave. Having moved away from racing last year, Kaos talks about how he struggles to hold on for such a long time now that he's become accustomed to the free ride ways of life.
Kaos, man of the Southern Hemisphere these days, eh?
Yeah, been there quite a bit. Back in the second home at the moment.
Did you go straight from South Africa to here?
Here, South Africa here. So yeah, big old journey that. But
tell me setups. Dark first, hardline, same setup?
Not at all, bro.
Not at all.
No,
okay, so you are racing.
Yeah, completely different
But the
bike,
big
mate.
hits and so.
Big hits.
Okay,
but
yeah. So tell me what you do. What was the go at Dark Fest and then this one?
Torque, the Canyon torque,
yeah.
and just slick tires, everything, fully full pumped up.
Yeah.
And here I'm back on the sender, downhill bike, and actually got it a bit softer, so you can actually feel your bike and ride, and not just feel like a wall, rock solid on the way down.
So you haven't hit the features yet, but you did the track. Oh no, you
I've hit it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
no.
You're one of the testers.
Yeah, one of the testers.
Thankfully, you're one of the testers.
Thankfully I came out all right.
It seems. Sorry,
My
Dave.
mate Dave didn't fucking end up all right, but big up Dave.
Everyone's
legend.
mate Dave. Eh?
So yeah, and then it should be a good one.
And you're out here racing, and Troy Brosnan's doing the kiddies race, I see.
Yeah, we've seen Troy around, but he saw another Canyon rider was on the start list, and he didn't fancy it. He was like, "Fuck, I can't get beaten by Kaos," so he just couldn't take the line up, which I don't blame him,
It's good to see though. You still got the racing bug, eh?
Yeah, but I'm gonna struggle to hold on, I reckon. The track's longer than a minute and a half, so Tell
me, what do you reckon? Fear, is there fear? What is, do you reckon, harder features? What would you be more scared to hit the first time? Stuff here or stuff at Darkfest? Because it's pretty similar, but in a different way.
I don't know. I think here, because I know how Darkfest works, And I know the diggers. I know how they build.
And you know the speed.
I know the speed, everything. So I reckon because here it's unknown.
And Darkfest has had the years to perfect the jumps.
It and stuff. But Darkfest is just amazing. So I reckon here's a lot more sketchier.
And then still got to do a run in between. And
you got to do a run in between, and you got to go
mulch and off camber.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's always the little things at Hardline, the little in-betweeners that have taken people out in the runs. Huh?
And this one's just going to be flat out the whole way. Like I think there's a section where you're going like 50k the whole way, through the trees. So it's going to be a fast one.
Nice one.
Be fun.
Good to see you sending it.
Big up. Good to be back at a race.
15th place for Kaos come race day and endless style points on top of that. Earlier on in the week, Sven spoke with Tahnée Seagrave about how she was approaching the intimidating track and the massive features. Here's Tahnée.
Tahnée.
Oh, we're back.
Big day. big
you
day.
Used to do this when I won World Cups.
Big day for you and all the women.
Yeah, huge.
Huge.
Yeah,
that's the best
cool.
way to describe it, really.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
And you guys are kind of all taking turns to open features too.
Yeah, I think this is why originally I got this group of girls together, because I know that we've all got different strengths. So I knew that, especially between girls, when someone sends it, you're then more likely to. But I know that all the drops are different, they require different skills. So I just knew for a fact that everyone would take it in turns, and it would be in a positive way that we'd all end up just training each other.
And you chose the biggest one of the day?
Yeah.
So the biggest for last?
I think my competitiveness might have shown through. It was...
You did it before 3/4 of the guys.
Yeah, I was stoked. I didn't realise. I was just hyped. Ever since I got here, I was like, fuck, I want to do that container drop so much. I feel like it's definitely one I can tick off, and it's an impressive one to do. So I just want to push myself a bit more these days. So... Yeah, I feel good.
Saying that, pushing yourself, you've come off some injuries. Some people would say, it's not the smartest thing to do right before a World Cup season. What do you reckon on that?
Well, they said that about Hardline last season, and then I went and had a massive crash at fucking Worlds at my actual job, in a way.
So if it's going to happen, it's going to
But
happen.
I got the confidence from Hardline, the confidence that I got from Hardline going into Worlds, and then all of a sudden I was on pace. The first 3 World Cups, I was off the pace, got to Worlds, and I was second with that crash.
So there's many ways to unlock the speed.
I mean, I've always been quite, I think people have always said to me, because I did my ankle dirt jumping, my shoulder was at a race, but I've had loads of injuries riding bikes.
Doing a T-bog, I heard.
Yeah, I just stamped my foot and it was disgusting. But at the end of the day, I've tried narrowing it down to just racing, and I've been really unhappy. So, I love progressing myself. I like pushing myself, and this sort of stuff just keeps me alive. So the World Cups are fun, and they do, but it's been so long now. I've been there since I'm 16.
There's more to it, yeah.
And there's only so much you can do whilst going fast. It's fucking scary, and you don't really push yourself in different ways. And the World Cup tracks, we return to the same track every year now.
Yeah.
So stuff like this is just it gives me that feeling I got when I was a young ripper on Plenty, being towed over step down, step up.
Or opening Champeray World Cup.
Exactly.
Course opener.
And don't get me wrong, I love racing, but it's just, and it's not because I'm not winning. I'm still trying to get to that point. But I just, I like pushing myself, and this sort of shit gives me that.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, doing this allows the speed to come easier on the racetrack.
I just think if I've got the opportunity to push the sport, why wouldn't I take it and try and inspire some young'uns, and eventually, there'll be loads of girls ripping this, and hopefully, we've got the world's best together, but hopefully we'll just see more and more girls, seeing us and being like, fuck yeah, I want to do that when I'm older.
Yeah, it's no longer a men's or a men's event.
Well,
you've proved that.
We did it at the same pace as everyone else. There's just one drop that I didn't tick off, but I was fucking hungry. But the other girls did, so we've ticked off every single feature, same as the boys. Yeah. We were on pace, but I am fucking tired. That was a big day.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Sleep well.
Thanks.
Women's mountain biking has never been in a better place, and we are stoked on it. A huge congratulations to Rońań, Dunne and Gracey Hemstreet, but also to all of the riders who took part in the amazing event. It was a gnarly track and was out of many people's comfort zones, so fair play. A big thank you as always to Sven Martin, who gives us all a window into the happenings at these incredible events. Check out his photographer page on MissspentSummers.com if you like what he does. We also need to thank all of you for tuning in and listening to this episode. As I said, this is the first one of 2024 and we can't wait for the season to get underway and to get stuck into race coverage. Be sure to check out the scrap section of our website, which is where we upload all kinds of stuff, from interviews to videos to book extracts to product reviews. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you sign up to our newsletter. It will mean that all things mountain biking will go straight into your inbox once a week. And lastly, don't forget that if you like what we do at Misspent Summers, you can help support us by spreading the word, buying anything from our store, or simply hitting the donate button at the footer of our website. We hope you've enjoyed our Red Bull Hardline Tasmania recap. Please do let us know if you enjoyed it, as we love to hear your feedback, positive or negative. Keep an eye on our YouTube and Spotify for more views-related content in the coming months. Thanks again, and we'll catch you in the next one.